Expressions. My name is Sharon Thomas. Thank you for joining us. We have an interesting topic as usual for us today, and we want you to really open your minds and share this information with your friends, your female friends, your male friends, and feel free to like, subscribe, and share Wow Expressions at Gmail. Wow Expressions 2020 at gmail.com. Thank you.
Hi everyone.
Hey.
Hey,
Hi,
this
hi,
is
hi.
Sharon.
Hi,
And in
Nadine.
action. But I wanted to talk to you all about this. I came across actually a friend sent me this link, and it talked about Trinidad being the breeding ground for horning and the life
Okay, so what is hoarding for people who may
horning.
not be Trinidadians?
Okay, if you're not Trinidadian, cock holding, being the outside woman, having an affair, a mistress,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Right.
I think the correct term would be being a mistress.
Right.
So the young lady spoke about all her blessers, and she would have like 2 to 3 blessers, and that's how she lived her life. Um, and she believed that she had full autonomy over her life, and it's a career, and
Is that what?
it's a career. So I'm thinking, how ambitious can you be? You know?
What a correct
Wait,
choice.
like what are the qualifications? Like, is it just having female anatomy?
I'm thinking
Wow.
qualifications is, well, she needs to have blessers who are willing to keep her in her that particular lifestyle, I guess.
In this day and age, in the 21st century, that is still a thing, Nadine.
Well, that's strange because you said in the 21st century. For many centuries, there have always been outside women, down to the royals, the courtesans, and
Not
whoever.
so much the outside woman I was dealing with, but the fact that this is her career, this is what this is, how do I put it? The fact that she makes a living, she makes a living that way. Like men are still in a position in these hard times. My question really should be, in these hard times, men could still afford to mind an outside woman.
You know what my aunt used to tell me? If you don't spend his money, somebody else will spend it.
Okay.
So the outside woman gets it what you not spending.
Wow. So what I hear you saying, and just for anyone who just noticed, well, Anna is not here. She had something that came up, but she's sending all her love and her energy with us. So she's here in spirit. And yeah, so what you're saying is that this woman makes the choice to
This
literally
young lady,
to be. So she's like, I choose to be in this position
and she
because
calls it a
I
career.
mean,
A
we
career.
have stories. We all know so many people who ended up in those kind of situations, but I have never heard of someone literally saying, right, I choose to be.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. Difference, Delia. The difference is, I am not going to be on a soapbox preaching to anybody because, things happen. Sometimes you meet somebody and you don't know.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
like normal.
Your spirit connect with them.
Yeah.
We're
I
not dealing with that aspect, Nadine. The aspect we're dealing with is the fact that she chose.
You don't go out of your way to make this a career and have 3 men mining you. That's what she was saying.
And this is what she has done, and this is the part that we're dealing with, the fact that she has chosen to make this her career. This is not something where she fell in love with a guy who happened to be married. This is a pattern.
Yes.
Wow.
So when one leaves, she said she always,
It's a vacancy. If somebody leaves, it's a vacancy.
yes, it is a vacancy, and she always
Apply within.
meet somebody. But here the joke, as you say vacancy, I heard this story. If you marry your mistress, you have created a vacancy. Think about it.
So that's a career where there's no room to move up.
Exactly.
You're stuck. You're stuck. Like I
But
mean,
what I want to find out though, what I'd like to ask Nadine and Delia,
uh,
as a young girl gets involved with a guy who happened to be married, what sort of a future she has? What is her future gonna be like?
And
In terms of having a family of her own, in terms of, what
Lauren,
is there for her?
you're missing what she's saying. She is saying that she made this lifestyle choice and she goes, always has the best shopping. She goes on trips. She is living the life. And every day, her calendar, her phone determines what she's doing. She will see what each of her blessers wants her to do, and she would choose the best one for that day. So it's who makes the best offer on that particular day will determine what she's doing.
So for her, it's purely financial. I mean, what does she want out of life? Is it just somebody to pay the
It's
bills to
purely
live this grand
financial.
life?
It's purely financial, I think. It's purely financial. Yeah, it's not that she just met somebody and she just happened to be in love with them and she's their mission. No, she is actively, she has actively decided to do this and she's actively doing this. And when one leaves, she gets another one. She said the universe sends them to her.
Mm.
but like if that's the level that she's vibrating at, that's how powerful we are, right?
Yeah,
We
the
kind of get
spoken
what
word. Then we say it, the
we get.
spoken word.
We
That's
get
what
what
we
we
want.
want, but
Yeah.
I mean, there are two aspects, right? So I believe in autonomy, and I believe that we have autonomy over our bodies, over the choices that we make. But oftentimes we make decisions out of hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the basis for her deciding? Is it that she needed financial support and
Mm-hmm.
she recognized that there were men who were willing to support her financially? Because what about getting a job? Like, why isn't that?
Well,
An,
dear, she didn't get into that. She said her job was that of the outside woman and her
it's
consort.
always like if she's glamorizing,
And
That
her
is exactly what
consort,
she's doing.
her
But
consort
Delia,
told her blessing.
I'm wondering if it's a case where she's just afraid of commitment on her own. Because if you were to have a husband, you have certain responsibilities in a marriage. In her case, she has the benefits of the financial aspect of a relationship, but not the cooking for your husband, cleaning.
Exactly.
The,
She
you
doesn't
know,
want that.
she doesn't have those responsibilities. So maybe for her, she wants the benefit, financial glamorous, to be this mistress.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think that it goes to values, right? It goes to values. So you were saying the most important thing is that I can buy nice clothes, I
Yeah.
can have fancy dinners.
Yeah.
To me, it lacks substance. It is
Right.
It does. It
Exactly.
it lacks
does.
She's
depth,
not
and I think
seeking.
also
Mhm.
a married man it is not the solo entity, right?
Yeah.
He
It's
has
the
a
family.
wife, he
Yeah.
has children. So every time and you could say, well, probably he could afford it or whatever. I don't know the financial situation, right? But if you're married and you have $10,000 and you take $5,000 of that 10,000 to spend on this woman, you
Mhm.
know, it's coming from somewhere. Even if you might say, well, all my their needs are met, maybe there's a college fund.
Mhm.
Maybe you can do investment property to ensure that your children and your children's children will have something to live on. I
Mhm.
mean, I live here in Brooklyn, and I was close friends with this guy who was an accountant for a number of years, right? And most of his clients were like Black business people. And he would tell me the number of businessmen who have lost what they built over the years with their wives
Mhm.
Mm.
because of having outside women and losing their family. It's so numerous.
Mhm.
There's a ugly side
Yeah.
to this outside woman thing, you know?
But Delia, what struck me when I read the article? One, you're glamorizing something. Two, you're not thinking about your generational wealth and your generational spirituality.
Mhm.
Because, people don't see the other side. All you see is physical.
Right.
Now, the spiritual aspect of your life, you are you know, they say the devil don't attack empty houses. You all ever heard of that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But I don't want to get religious, but the thing is, you are attacking yourself spiritually when you are not looking for positivity.
Right.
Okay, let's say you end up in a relationship with a married man. That's one thing. But you don't go out seeking to just have those types of relationships and three at a time. What about the health reasons? You sleeping
I
with
was thinking about that. You sleep with
Yeah,
one
yeah.
person, are you? And if these men are long-term relationships, you know how it goes. In the
Mhm.
beginning, they use a condom, and
Yeah,
then when they get familiar, they
it's
go
in
in
their
more.
home.
So you're sleeping with three people.
Mhm.
I'm just guessing. She may not be. She may be practicing, right? But I'm saying
Mhm.
the likelihood diminishes over time,
Right,
right?
yeah,
That you would
yeah,
use a condom with someone who you're
yeah,
familiar with. And these
yeah.
Trinidadian men, we know how they are. I mean, if they're paying for it, which is basically what they're doing,
Uh-huh,
right? I
uh-huh.
mean, I am for women's lib, but I
Mhm.
struggle with
You
seeing the
know,
long-term benefits of
right.
this career
But
choice.
Delia, not only that, I think about these guys in particular. They have a wife as already established. But
Uh-huh.
who is to say that she's the only mistress for them? So
Uh,
you can see how this goes on and on into that commingling. Huh? I mean, the danger involved is crazy.
no, but
And as she gets older, I mean, is she thinking of having a family one day? Does she understand as a woman, we don't have forever to have a family? Is she thinking when she gets older, are these men going to be around to take care of her? Are they
yeah,
going to be around to meet her needs, whatever those needs might be then,
yeah.
beyond material needs?
Sharon, you know, I can
Mm.
understand if in the article she said like she has a goal. And let's say, because you hear all these stories, people working as strippers or whatever, and they furthering their education. There was
Right, in
Right.
college and that kind of
about
thing.
that. It was always like she made no plans to get out of this. This is what she was planning to do for the rest of her life. And I just can't see that happening. Okay, let's say she has two men who was financing, and she said in the article, well, I'm putting aside money for my schooling, and I don't plan to do this forever because I came from this type of background and I never had anybody to help me, and this is the only way I'm getting help. And I'm not saying it's right, and I'm using the money to further advance my career. I'm investing in properties, something, but there is
Yeah, but just to be buying
This is her
clothes,
career. This is her career. This
you
is
know, and what to buy a Louis or a Gucci? That is
to look
no,
good.
dumb
To
nonsense.
look good. To
no, no,
look good.
no.
That is,
I,
yeah. So it
it's
really doesn't.
frivolous. It's so
Yeah, I
frivolous.
don't see, like I said, there's no end game, you know.
Yes, there's no
But,
ending.
but you know, the funny thing is, I remember like being small, right?
Mhm,
And there's always this thing about this being a kept woman with several men. This is
mhm,
really so much part of our Trinidad culture, right?
mhm,
I remember being small and there was always particular women who never worked,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
Usually lived alone,
mhm.
but they always had money and is a Mr. John and Mr. and Mr. whatever, right? Who comes by ever so often,
Mhm.
you know? And when now that I'm older, I understand what it is.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is so much part of our culture as well, where women are taught to parley, you
Mhm.
know, their good looks because she's probably a good looking young lady. You
Yeah.
understand? To yeah, you know, to being kept by a man. But
And
it's so it's never long term because when these women get older, it's
mhm.
a
And
struggle. When you mean
develop,
past 50, who want that? To have a
yeah,
younger,
yeah,
fresher, tighter thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but it's not only in our culture, it's the Latin type culture where it is normal for a man to have a wife and they have a mistress that the wife knows about.
Yeah, but I'm just
But,
saying, like
but
going
in
growing
this
up, you can
case,
remember these type of people in your community, these kind of women
right,
in your
but in this
community,
case,
you know?
her ambition and her career is to have at least three blessers and to continue to infinitum or infinity. There is, as you said, no end game. There is no studying so or I'm investing so. All she's talking about is where she traveling to, what she buying,
And when
and
she traveling, borders closed. Where she going?
Tobago. She even say it harder now.
So let me tell you something again. There's a point in
Okay.
time when you drink the finest wines, you travel, you go travel, and you're traveling five-star hotels.
How much of that you really need?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it
As
just
I said, there is no generational wealth or no generational spirituality or no, there's no end game. There's no
what advice would you give? Okay, so I think we have kind of like agreed that
right.
um this is no real life plan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is no real life plan.
Mhm.
So what advice would you give some young girl who is seeing that, listen, I'm cute and these guys want to take care of me. Why shouldn't I?
Mhm.
Like, what would you tell them?
Well, the advice I would give, Nadine, first of all, you're reading something that is glamorizing a lifestyle. My advice to them, let's say you want to do this. My advice to them, this is not permanent. And whatever material possessions you getting, don't focus on the bag, the trip. If you already have a blesser, let him bless you with some education. Pay for your education, something. Oh gosh, I don't know. That maybe that's my advice I would give. You know, Sharon, what do you think?
For me,
My business. Oh my God.
for me, I will want to re-educate that young woman if this is something that in her mind is the go-to thing. I will
Mhm.
say you are beautiful.
Mhm.
You're amazing. God gave us a lot as women. And you can use so many aspects of your womanhood to make a career as opposed to that one area of your womanhood. I would say select something. There are numerous careers that we can get into. Select something you can be proud of. You
Mhm.
can meet someone.
Proud of it.
Well, select a real career because that is not a real
Because
career.
what, are you gonna bring your kids? Are you gonna, like, when you're part of your career, you bring your kids to work?
Mhm.
Correct.
She
When
gonna,
that's correct,
she gonna,
yes. Thank
gonna
you.
bring her kids
Do
to work.
something. Do something with your life because that career is very limited. It's a short-term career. If we were to call it a career per se, do
Mhm.
something else with your life. Use your time, use your energy to
Mhm.
do something that is of worth.
But Sharon, what I am saying is, let's say you meet somebody and they're bent on doing this. What advice would you give them? And you can't change your mind. Take the money you're getting and invest in a business.
Invest in yourself. Yeah,
Invest
invest in yourself. Besides the
not
brand,
a handbag. A
buy
handbag.
some properties, set up a
Yeah.
business, do something because that isn't going to
What
last
I would tell
forever.
that person,
Mhm.
invest in therapy.
Yeah.
Invest
Correct.
in therapy.
Mhm.
Because even if they take some of the money and they buy property, right?
Mhm.
Because if you're making such a decision,
Mhm.
tells me a lot about your mental process.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people make decisions out of hurt,
Mhm.
trauma-based decisions, right?
Yeah.
So they should get some kind of therapy to kind of look at the root causes that they feel
Definitely.
that this is how they need to function. Because even if they perhaps get the man to buy some kind of investment property, because
Mhm.
they're so wounded emotionally, you
Yeah.
understand? Then it
Yeah.
might be for nothing really. Because
Yeah.
ultimately, the best the best investment is in yourself and not
Yes.
financial stuff.
Yes.
Understand who you are, understand your purpose. I think Oprah launched a new book today. What happened to you? Right? Because we are all a result of what happened to us.
Yeah.
Take the
Yes.
time. And I think this is why we have these conversations, right? Because a lot of times how we show up and we might laugh or whatever is because we are dealing with stuff. We're dealing with things that happen to us and we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Right? And
And
Yeah.
Delia, while we're dealing with this from the female perspective, there are
Friend,
men who've made this a career as well. Eh?
how can you
We have
create your thing?
hey,
there are
I
cut, there are
Your
cut men out there, people. I
no,
know
but let me
cases
I
of
say
cut
if
men.
a woman keeping a man, she's chipping. I So I still blame the woman. I know I'm anti-woman. God forgive me. No, you must be mad.
No, but it happens. I know of cases of that. I know of a couple cases. It's crazy.
I know, like
One
a
of the
woman,
guys,
like
one of the guys that I heard is I don't want to say a victim of this nonsense. He can't even go to the shop because if he go to the shop, she afraid. And in most cases, it's some older woman with a younger guy. So
I know.
she afraid if he go to the shop, he might see some young girl his age and be swept away. But I mean, it's crazy to each his own. I guess.
No, no, but that is real. No, really. I was having this discussion with my girlfriend as well, right? Where these older, successful women, right? They are financially secure. And these younger men see them as prey, right? But if you are that type of person and you've done the work on yourself,
Yeah.
you'd rather be alone than
Mhm.
Yes,
have some little
correct.
be behind the ear, little
Oh,
whippersnapper
she
coming
wants
to take your money.
Toto. She
No,
What
you
wants
Nadine said?
Toto.
What you said, Nadine?
She wants Toto. She's
What?
coming
What? I'm not hearing her.
Toto, please.
I have not heard a word Nadine said.
At
I,
40 something, when she done the work, she studied, she has her own business. The only thing she's looking for is now is Toto.
she's looking for sex, basically. You understand? Yeah, but you see, and I said, if you look, nothing's wrong with meeting that need, but don't get emotionally involved with some guy who is 10, 20 years behind you emotionally and
Mhm.
is probably looking for a mother figure. You don't need
Exactly.
that, you know?
Yeah.
We have to normalize
Speaking
women.
of career women, I before we forget, I want to congratulate Delia
Yeah.
Aw,
Margaret Williams Gunput for I'm stuttering for I'm so proud for
ah,
an amazing accomplishment. You know, we all set goals and we work hard towards them. But Delia, I am so proud that you've been able to attain your doctorate
thank
after much years of
you.
hard work and
Thank
studying.
you.
Congratulations. I don't have a glass of wine, but I have coffee.
Mhm.
So I'd like to lift my glass, my cup, and
Aw,
raise a toast to say congratulations, Delia. Well done. I am super, super proud of you as a mother, as a career woman, you're just an entrepreneur, just name it. Good work pays. Hard work, people out there,
And
hard work
that is a
pays.
career. That is a
Yes.
right? Thank you so much, Sharon. I really appreciate it. And you guys know the journey, me migrating to the US and and then going to school and just, yeah. So it's been an amazing journey. And that's why I think anything is possible, right? Because
yeah.
that's my life. You
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
anything is possible. So
From
you have
Yes.
to
Tampico to doctorate.
from what?
Tampico to doctorate.
Right.
I know.
I,
Wow.
no, but that was good. That was a good
So
business.
from tech to doctorate.
Right? Oh my God. That's the thing. You never know where your life is,
Yeah.
the twists
Yeah.
and turns.
You
You
must always have
understand? But
positive.
I think you gotta have some values because I remember a particular time, right? I was in a financial jam. And this man literally told me that if I slept with him, he would help me.
Feeling it.
I was like, hell no, I don't, you're mad. You can't pay me enough for this, bro. Like,
Crazy.
priceless, priceless. So you have to have your values, and the universe opens up doors and opportunities
Yeah.
for you to move
Definitely.
forward. So I mean, when I wish that young lady well,
Mhm.
and I hope that she's able to find her peace, right?
Mhm.
And if she is, as you say, Nadine, if she is doing this, that hopefully she is thinking about an end game,
Mhm.
right? Something in the future that can be like, even if I did this, you know, and she gets the help that she needs.
Mhm. Mhm.
And to her viewers, the ones who are looking on at her and thinking this is something I want to aspire towards, it's not worth it.
And
It's
one
not
more
worth it.
thing, I think we need society, the society needs to change because the article was about Trinidad is the breeding ground for this. There's something wrong in the society as well. It's not
Yeah,
just
Mm.
her.
we normalize, and let me
Ex-
tell you, as a woman who hasn't, you know, led that perfect part and did get involved in relationships that were taboo, you understand, thank God, with his grace, been able to get out of those situations. It really is this sharing man thing. You start to feeling, I don't mind, but after a while, you want the whole man.
You do?
You
You,
understand? You want the whole man, and then you set up yourself for emotional trauma. You
mm,
understand? But God is good. We've all moved. We were all 20 somethings,
yes, we've all done that, been there and that.
been there, done that.
Mhm.
And hopefully she would be able to move out and turn around and tell the story. I was that then, because I think we all could say that I used to be that, but I'm no longer that.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for having a conversation with us. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell us what you think. Have you ever been involved with a married man? Did it work out? Did you become the wife? Or did you move on? What's going on?
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.